284 guys through the,
Is usually put in place in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And spent that way, and I think that's the way it should be done.
So that even in situations where you exclusively contract with the county?
It is for town funds, it is for maintenance and repair of funds of roads. That is for expenditure of funds, of town funds for those kind of things. Oh, do you mean if you,
Are we required to do it in the beginning of the year?
I'm not aware of any exclusion
If you
if you
exclusively
solely
contract
contract
with
with
the
the county. I'm not aware of any such exclusion.
any questions or thoughts, concerns?
There isn't anything to it.
I actually would like to say something, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
In discussion, you'd asked me to provide you some written comments, and I've done that.
Do I have them?
A copy. I didn't have time to make copies, so I'll read it now and provide you with copies subsequent to the meeting. You had asked me for my feedback, and I spent some time reviewing the proposal, and I've kind of prepared a report that I'll provide. I'll just read it so that it can be on the record. The primary purpose and objective of this report is to provide preliminary analysis and basic feedback on the proposed procurement policy presented by the town supervisor. I'll attach a copy of the procurement policy to this as contents. My general statement, the procurement policy has been proposed by the town supervisor, and the proposal of the supervisor has inferred there is some justification for this policy. He has given me the impression as a town board member that he is stating that the department heads are spending irresponsibly without oversight. To date, he has produced no data or details to support his inference that this policy is in need or justified. Subsequently, the only conclusion that can be drawn is that his intentions are political or arbitrary, either of which is not a qualified reason to enact such a policy. The supervisor also has displayed a clear lack of understanding or knowledge of the functional departments within the town, and which offices have legal obligations/requirements to other governing entities that supersede town board authority. Structure of the departments. The departments within the town are diverse and each possess their own complexities and parameters. Some also have legal obligations to other governing entities, i.e. court, assessment, and clerk's office. The current town board does not have a clear understanding of these departments and how goods/services need to be purchased, or any of the drivers for why purchasing is currently handled the way it is, or what the current practices are. Review of performance. My time involved with the town spans almost a decade. In my observation, the department heads are extremely knowledgeable and have all worked in a collaborative manner with each other. Departments to meet the needs of the residents in a most cost-effective and efficient manner. It would be ignorant of the town board to pass a procurement policy without substantive input from the department heads. Financial oversight. The proposed policy places oversight of expenditures down to a very low level in the hands of the town supervisor and then at least 2 board members. Concerns. To date, no data has been provided exhibiting what the current policies are and where they are deficient. Current town supervisor and the majority of the town board has repeatedly placed a higher priority on their politics over what is best for the town or town residents. Some of these decisions have had a negative financial impact on the town. Web administrator appointment. Despite feedback given to the town supervisor indicating that the current web administrator, Mr. Bishop, has been in the position before and was not reappointed in lieu of more appropriate options at the time, upon his removal, he exhibited actions detrimental to the town by holding the town's website hostage. Despite this information being provided to the supervisor, he put the town's interests secondary and his own politics primary and made the appointment regardless.
This is about
The financial impacts. The web admin cost to the town in 2010 were $1,875, and the annual budget for that expenditure was $2,200. In 2011, the annual expenditure was $1,330.25. Again, the budget for that line was $2,200. In 2012, for the first 4 months of the year, we spent $1,537.50. Annualized out, that's going to equate out to about $4,612.56. That's about a 347% cost increase. We spent $224.02 for all 3 newsletters on typing, for a total of $729.53 for an individual mailing for the newsletter. In 2012, we spent $931.40 on printing and mailing, $216.30 for the typist, which is just about what we spent all year long last year. A $92.61 expenditure on an amendment totaling $1,240.31, which is about a 70% cost increase for the production of the first newsletter. Planning board chairperson appointment, the town supervisor was provided with feedback regarding this proposed planning board chairperson appointment. The feedback was that residents had communicated to the town board negative feelings about the cost. Residents had to endure to use the services of our town planning board, as well as the length of time an application took to get to approval. That also added cost to projects. All of this feedback was specific to the time when this proposed appointee had been chairperson previously. The supervisor ignored the potential increased cost and poor potential service to our residents, and appointed his political friend slash contributor once again, parentheses, the same appointee he appointed to manage the newsletter, close friend. Financial impacts. Year-to-date planning board is already over their annual budget. The summary of data and conservative conclusions. The Princetown board has not exhibited a working knowledge of the current procurement policies. A SWOT analysis has not been performed to identify where our current policies slash practices are optimal and where improvements could be achieved. Department heads should be the focus of the day-to-day procurement, not the town board. The current town supervisor has repeatedly placed his politics over what is in the best interest of the town and the residents. His political agenda has in a very short time cost the residents significantly. Since the town supervisor has proven that he is not financially responsible and has been primarily responsible for a 347% increase in web admin costs, a 70% increase in newsletter costs, and the planning board going over budget in the first 4 months, any procurement policy that places oversight in his hands would not be prudent. Any vote to approve this proposed policy by any board member would be another example of an elected official exhibiting that they care more about themselves and their political agenda than the town and the town residents. I, Todd Edwards, town councilman, am not in favor of this proposed procurement policy. Thank you.
That's all I can say. Since you didn't have the courage to give us a copy of that statement,
I got here
and
late. I
that
didn't have time to-
opinion, we have no recourse but to take your.
Because you guys have never come to a meeting without giving me anything.
Can I finish?
I know that.
You know, all your arithmetic in there, I don't believe it until I see it.
Go look it
Hold
up.
on.
I'll go look it up. So, you talk about Mike being political, and what you just read is one of the most political statements I've ever heard.
What I just read to you is
So
a fact.
don't give me, come on,
All right, let's take
Yeah.
this.
okay. I mean, I just.
There's nothing in there that's not.
I protest that statement heartily. Why?
Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Bob?
Yes. Yes.
Councilmember Edwards?
No.
Esposito?
Yes.
Jazinski?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes. NYMER insurance contract. That Supervisor Joyce reviewed and signed the yearly NYMER insurance policy contract between the year municipal insurance reciprocal and the town of Princetown for the term of June 2012 through June 2013. So just I've sent it to Pete, Pete's reviewing it now. I've asked Mr. Edwards to look at it too, but not his field. Feeling pretty good at the standard contracts. So just to put a little context around the contract. So Bob, you motioned?
And I'll probably put in the dollar amount, because I changed the reference.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
You can get that from me.
Yes.
Second?
I'll second.
Is there a cost increase on our renewal? Or remain the same?
What?
It's flat renewal?
Okay.
Councilmember Edwards?
Yes.
Esposito?
Yes.
Jazinski?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes. Ethics policy. We have a motion in town board, the town of Princetown hereby authorizes the town clerk to provide a public notice alert to the Gazette for the town board meeting of 6/11. This notice will allow the public to comment on the proposed updated ethics policy.
If I could ask for just some clarification, is this intended to be a public hearing on the proposed ethics policy?
Correct.
Okay. And at the agenda meeting 2 weeks ago, did we agree that this would be the date for the public hearing on that local law? If so, I just think it's a question of tweaking this to make it clear that the town board intends to hold a public hearing on the ethics policy at the meeting on June 11th. So for, okay, for any local, before you pass a local law, there has to be a public hearing on the local law. And I don't know that the board has set a date for that public hearing. I think, that's what you intend to do by this?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think we just need to say, amend this, say the town board, the town of Princetown hereby intends to hold its public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2012 on June 11th, 2012.
So it's a public
Period.
hearing?
Yeah.
This notice will allow public comment on proposed updated ethics policy, local law number 1, 2012.
Well, what I was gonna say is to take your language, that the town board of the town of Princetown hereby, and then insert, agrees to hold a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2012 on June 11th, 2012. And the town board further authorizes town clerk to provide notice of the public hearing to the Gazette in the
I
manner.
think it's inherent in it, but you just
Yeah.
add it, it doesn't matter. I mean, just doing it makes it an obligation.
Right.
But
So I would say,
if you want to put it in, it's.
yeah. The
Is that June 11th?
direct the clerk to provide the public notice required.
June 12th, what is it there? June 12th. So I read back?
Yes.
Thank
So it'd be the town, you wanna do it, go ahead.
you. Well, let me read it and then,
Yeah.
if I miss a spot. The town board of the town of Princetown hereby agrees to hold a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 on 2012, and town board approves to provide town clerk notice to the Gazette.
No, I'm gonna take you back, so I think it should be agrees to hold a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2012 on June 12th, 2012, period.
Yeah.
And then the town board further authorizes the town clerk to publish notice of the public hearing as required by law, period. If you're okay with that.
I'm fine with that. I didn't get to write it all down.
It's on the tape now.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Oh, that's good. Oh, great.
Because of that, I have to say that. Say it again.
All right, here it goes. I do get paid by the word, so it's good. Town board of the town of Princetown hereby agrees to hold a public hearing on proposed local law number 1 of 2012 on June 12th, 2012. Town board further authorizes the town clerk to provide the required public notice as required by law. Period.
And we had a motion by
Can you
Joe.
write that for me? I mean, I do the other one, which is fine, but law, I want to make sure that, I always ask Todd to do it, so there's no issues.
Oh, do the public notice.
Do,
Oh,
write the
yes.
public notice.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
thought you wanted me to write down what you said.
No.
So Joe made initial motion?
Yep.
Second.
Councilmember Edwards,
No.
Esposito,
Yes.
Krasinski,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes. I think that closes any resolutions for the evening. So again, we'll open it up to public comment.
I just have a question with regard to the procurement policy that I know Supervisor Joyce, you sent out an email with the attached policy and offered us to give you feedback. However, I'm somewhat concerned because of the service-driven that the courts are involved in. The fact is that I can't predict the number of tickets I get each week. I can't predict the number of envelopes that I use in a given month. A box of envelopes is over $500, so that means I have to wait until I can get two councilmen to sign a voucher before I can order envelopes, when that's already been approved as part of my budget, to buy envelopes for the court to send out fine notices and things like that. It's going to be a very hard policy to follow.
How many envelopes are in a pack?
500,
They're a bucket piece?
they're stamped.
Oh,
They're 360, I order 3 boxes at a time, that comes up to be about $768.
So,
And when I need them, I put them on my credit card and I get them.
so,
I've never had to ask permission to get envelopes before.
yeah, so I don't think it's, logistically a huge, I mean, if you're getting down to 200 envelopes out of your 500 envelopes, send an email to the board asking for 2 people to approve it, it should be pretty quick.
Well, we try to do it because the cost of postage in the last couple of years has gone up, and it goes up randomly throughout the year. It's gone up twice, and, then we're back to buying stamps to add on to envelopes, which takes a lot more time. And, I mean, I don't understand if the money's there and the budget has never gone over in supplies, why the necessary required signatures from 2 board members for that amount of money, for over 100, 250?
So is the concern the process, or is the concern? Is the
Concern is
concern-
process, absolutely.
So to send an email out, when your box gets down halfway, to send an email out to the board saying, I'm down to 200, can I buy another box?
What does the resolution actually do? What does it do? It sets a policy in place to be followed, or as an advisement to the people who work in those departments?
In policy.
Thank you.
Additional comments?
I'm Melanie Whiteley, I live at 3478 Pangburn Road. I had a couple of questions. One is about the 2011 attorney bill. Mike, you gave the impression to us that it was the clerk's office that dropped the ball, and that's why the bill wasn't paid. Peter kind of tried to clear that up a little, so I just want to make sure that we have the correct impression. It really wasn't the clerk's office, it was actually an issue with Whiteman. Keith?
The
The bill came late,
bill came late.
so that's not the clerk's fault, that has to do with Whiteman's billing, correct? Okay. Does anyone have a budget in front of them?
I do not.
Could you tell me, now that budget is through April, correct?
4:30.
The end of April. Could you tell me,
It's not for any statement.
what we've spent in legal for the town board? Or is it all together, or is legal separated out with planning and zoning and? What I recall, we had like $40,000 in the line budgeted for this year for legal, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what do we have left in that line as of April 30th?
34.9.
And,
That's 3,430.
the webmaster line, how much is left in that line after 4 months? And what did we budget?
$1,000 and $1,087.50.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry, we
the
budgeted $2,200, which is the same as it was for the prior 2 years.
Okay, what did we spend thus far in webmaster?
Through 430, we spent, on the operating center 430, we spent $1,087.50.
In 4 months.
Through 4/30/2012.
Okay. Last year, from what I recall, there was no line in the budget for videography. Did that change? Did you guys add a line?
Not yet.
So there's no line in the budget for videography and we're spending $70 a meeting. Where's the money coming from?
And it's becoming a town hall line,
It's coming out of where?
town hall line.
We have a line called Town Hall. Carol, do you know where it's coming out of?
Town hall miscellaneous.
And what comes out of Town Hall miscellaneous typically, for the most part, aside from the videography?
People that come and clean the
There's a lot
floors,
of things, excuse me?
Garbage pails?
garbage pickup. No, that doesn't come out of town hall.
So the community room generates its own revenue.
Right,
So
which we haven't
The
bought.
garbage pail has
It's
cost the
Melody's
taxpayers
table, it's Melody's floor.
Well, you and a lot of other people keep making like some extremely ignorant comments about the garbage pail. I am playing.
So, no.